Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a new look without the zombie face every week. So yeah, just a bit of a new look for next year, guys. Something we're looking at. A bit of a name change. A few things. So yeah, we'll have a few different lighting changes. We'll have a fog machine and stuff going. And next year, we're looking to change the name, so it'll be the Super Coach Asylum next year, which suits me and Blayde down to the ground. And yeah, we'll have a few theme nights and stuff. Hey Shields, how are you, bud? Yeah, we'll have a few theme nights next year. So obviously with the name, we'll have a Halloween night or something like that. We're going to have a couple of red carpet nights, probably 2 next year. And on those nights, we'll get the person that's coming first that week, if we can try and get them on the show, or the person that wins this year, we'll try and get them on the red carpet show next year. So yeah, a couple of things like that. There'll be what else we got? So we'll have a couple of different leagues. We'll have an invitational league next year, which will invite. We've got a few people worked out for that list, which we'll announce that next week. Next week will be our last show, so we'll announce the invitational invites next week, and get that out there. And yeah, we'll try and get guests on as many weeks as possible, and yeah, get that all happening next year. So yeah, there's a few things in the works, guys. So keep us in mind next year. We'll change it up a little bit, and I'll dress up and put a few wigs on here and there, whatever it's got to do. Got to be done to entertain the fans. I'll do it. So yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys. So yeah, just moving on down the track, I just wanted to shout out big announcement last night. The BJ boys on the show announced last night that it'll be their last show next week. They won't be back next year. Yeah, so they're going to pull the pin, the boys, which is going to be a sad night. It's a bit of a shock when I heard the boys announce it. But yeah, it's been a great ride. I've been hiding in the shadows for probably 3 or 4 years, guys, and then yeah, I started having a chat to you boys probably sort of halfway through last year, and all of this year has been unreal, and you have helped me from the start. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. You have been the first blokes I saw when I started Super Coach 4 or 5 years ago, and I've watched this pretty much every day, every week. Since then, I've probably missed less shows than Kingy, so I reckon I'm going alright. But yeah, just a massive shout out to you blokes. Thanks for all your help, even starting the podcast this year. The boys have been awesome helping me out. All you blokes in that chat too, all the BJ boys in the chat, Benny, Shieldsy, all you blokes, Kano, Shano, you've all been awesome. Yeah, it'll be a sad day next week, next Tuesday. Yeah, it'll be a sad day. Just wanted to shout out to them blokes. Yeah, if you're not watching, watch the replay, guys, and I'll send you a link. And yeah, just wanted to shout out and make sure you've heard from me, guys, and make sure I got my thanks in. So thank you very much for everything you've done for me and for everybody else. It'll be a sad day to see you go. So thanks, guys. So yeah, we'll just keep moving on. So yeah, scores and rank, guys, from last week. So I got a 1497, guys, last week, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, there was some big scores out there. Where I was about that 1500 was about bottom where you sort of wanted to be last week. If you didn't score that sort of 1500, or better, you were struggling. So yeah, I got a 1497. Only put me up, I think, 7 spots or something. I went up this week. Oh, sorry, 12 spots I went up. There you go, I went up 12 spots. Put me in 417th, guys. So there you go, I'm sitting 417th now. So yeah, it'll be a big couple of weeks, guys, to try and stay in that top 500 now. I don't think I can get sort of up into the 250 or anything like that. If I can stay in that top 500 over the next 2 weeks, that'll be massive for me. So Shieldsy, Bundy mixer. Yeah, mate, I'm going to get into that. That'll be at the end of the show. I'll run through all the Bundy stuff, guys. We've got the Bundy code at the top. I put the wrong code in last week. No, not last week. We didn't do a show. Week before. I had the wrong code, guys. So that's the code that's at the top of the screen now. That's the code you want to jump into, guys. So if you're not into that one, jump into the Bundy mixer, into that code there, guys, and get amongst that one. So, yeah, I got that wrong last week. Sorry, guys, or the other week. Yeah, so our team changes. I don't think there's too much to write home about there. I think we thought there probably might be some outs, especially with the Panthers sealing that minor premiership last week. But they're there. They're all there. All the boys are there. Luai's back. All the other big ones are for the Roosters. Lindsay Collins and Takiaho are back. So that's a big plus for them. I think that's about all the big ones I can think of for team changes anyway. Yeah, that's about that. Scored. Alright, we'll run through the most most traded players this week in and out, and then I'll run through some of my trades, guys, and then after the trades I'll run through last week's scores, and then I'll have a quick break to check on this kid, and then I'll come back and do all the Bundy stuff and all the leagues and stuff as well, guys. So we'll just run through the most traded players this week, in and out, and then I'll run through my trade. I only one trade left, which I used this week, and I'll run through that shortly, which the boys helped me with this week as well with my last trade, which was awesome. The most traded out, guys, is Ruben Garrick. He's the most traded out this week, guys. Obviously gone for the season, so yeah, anyone you want to trade him now and get a couple of weeks out of whoever you bring in at least. Ezra Mam, second most traded. Not sure about that one. Not sure who they're trading to there. Let me just have a look at that. Ezra's not in the top 10. Oh, yes, he is. So they're trading Ezra to Mitch Moses. There you go. That's the trade. 8th most trade is Mitchell Moses to... Ezra Mam to Mitch Moses. So that's he's the second most traded out, Ezra. Tommy Dearden, obviously with the nut rupture. Yeah, he won't be there this week, or probably next week either, I'd imagine. I'm not sure how long he's got, but a nut rupture is not good, boys. It's got to be a few weeks off. Lolo, he's the 4th most traded out, which, yeah, I've got him in the front row, so I didn't want to waste a trade in the front row. But yeah, I can see why people are trading him, especially if they've got him in the back row. His scores the last few weeks have been, not great. And his minutes are shit house, so... yeah, that is something to keep an eye on, guys. If I could have traded him and worked out, because I was looking to bring in a high ceiling player this week, if I could have worked out some way of bringing in someone, because I had no duels in the second row to move up into the front row. I had my duels in the front row to move down to the second row, so I couldn't work a way around it, so I had to hold Lolo, but yeah, let's just hope he gets some minutes and plays. Scores well in the next 2 weeks at least. And number 5, Joseph Suwali. He's 5th most traded out there, so... yeah, I know Roosters have got a couple of hard games, but... yeah, I'm not sure about that one either. But that's the top 5. We'll just do the top 5. I'll do the top 5 most traded in. And then I'll run through my trade and what I did, guys. So AJ's most brought in, guys, this week. 5% of teams have brought him in. Yep, so obviously he's still scoring tries. That was one of my options, guys, this week. I'm playing blayde in our friendly league. We got I'm playing blayde in the grand final this week, and he's got AJ. I haven't got AJ. But I'm just sort of hoping he can't just keep scoring tries every week. He's got to have 1 or 2 weeks where he scores at least 1 try or something. Like, he can't just keep producing 3-4 tries every week, surely. So I've gone against him. I'll talk about my trade in a second. But yeah, I've gone against AJ this week in the hope that, yeah, he has a quiet one. He's got to be due. Got to be due for a quiet one, surely. But yeah, number 2 most brought in to Pine from the Raiders. Obviously, yeah, if you're trading out Lolo or someone out of the front row, yeah, Tapine's one you want to look at there, or even in the back row. Yeah, just didn't have the ceiling, and I had him earlier. He does have a ceiling, but not as big as I was hoping. But he does score them tons without too many problems. But yeah, I had him a few weeks, or the week he injured himself, or the week before he injured himself, or something. Then yeah, after that injury, I just couldn't bring myself to bring him back in. So yeah, I was staying away from him. I'll antipod him as well. Third most brought in Val Holmes, obviously one of the gun centre wingers. He's one of the top 4 centre wingers in my opinion for the run home, or the next 2 games. So he has been for a while now. I think Val been right up there amongst the top centre wingers for a while. Number 4, David Fafita. Obviously, yeah, got a good draw next 2 weeks and is a ceiling player. So yeah, I can see that one. And Bo Firmo as well, which yeah, hopefully he's not a trap. He has scored tries. He scored 3 tries in the last 2 weeks or something like that. So yeah, just beware. He's not probably going to score them sort of tries every week, guys. So yeah, just be wary of that one. So, but that's a top 5 traded out and traded in, guys. What else have we got? All right, so I'll run through my trades before I do last week's scores and stuff. So yeah, like I said, I only had the 1 trade left this week. And I actually, after and ahhing with a few of the boys, and I had a chat to Kano and Benny and that about it today, because yeah, I sort of didn't know where to go with me trade. I was looking at trading Ola, just because of his performances the last few weeks. But then yeah, Benny sort of poured it out. He scored well last week and didn't do too much. And yeah, he does have a ceiling. So the Oracle. Hey boys, I give you a rap earlier too, guys. Just if you want to listen up, if you weren't online, I'll give you a rap too there, boys, about your last show. So yeah, just at the start of the show, I'll give you a bit of a rap. So, but yeah, all I was looking was someone I was looking to trade out. But yeah, I decided against it, and then when I thought about it, and after talking to Kano, he sort of twisted my arm a bit with McGuinness. And yeah, like he said, not playing 80. He's just a sort of plotter. You're not going to get that sort of 100 out of McGuinness. Whereas Ola, you just never know. So you could hit that. Yeah, you could hit that. I'll take the baton, you reckon, boys? I was thinking about pinching your time slot on a Tuesday next year. But no, we'll see how we go, boys. We'll see how we go. But I'll always carry the flame. I'll always bring yous up in my show. Don't worry about that. Always. I'll expect yous on my show next year at some point, showing your faces, boys. The red carpet night. I'll have a red carpet night for you blokes next year. Get on. But yeah, so I ended up, boys, I'll just talk a bit of shit tonight. So it's only 2 weeks to go, so you'll hear me talking shit, especially when Blayde's not here. No one else to talk to. Kid's resting. I do have to check on her, but she's resting at the moment. And the other boys are doing their own thing. Probably talking to girls or watching porn or something. Who knows? But yeah, so my trade, I end up going McGuinness, guys. Traded McGuinness out. I moved Cotter up to dummy half, and I brought in the big dog, big Fafita. So yeah, I brought in Fifi this week, guys, just with his draw the next couple of weeks, and the last week sort of impressed me a little bit. And I just think he's got to be due to turn up. Surely Fifi's due. So that's where I've sort of gone antipod AJ. I sort of think, and I'm fingers crossed, he's sort of not due. He's got to be due for a shit game. He can't just keep scoring tries every week. Surely he's got to have a bad one somewhere. And I'm hoping it's this week, and I'm hoping Fifi's due for a big one. So that's where I've gone, guys, with the help of the boys this afternoon. That at the moment, that's my trade. I was looking at Firma as well, but like I mentioned before, when I looked at it, he scored tries every week last few weeks, so he's not going to probably do that the next 2 weeks. Oh, well, he could do with their draw, but yeah, so I didn't want to count on that, so I sort of went Fifi. That's the way I've gone, boys. bring the big dog in for the last 2 games. I could have waited till next week, like a few of the boys said. If you get an injury next week and you've used your trade this week, you might be up shit creek, which is possible. But I wanted to get 2 weeks out of Fifi. So if I can get the next 2 weeks with the Knights and the Warriors out of him, just might sneak me up the rankings. He's only 11% owned. Just might be a sneaky one for me to get up there a little bit. So that's the way I've gone this week, guys, with me trade. And yeah, so no trades left, boys. I've joined the party. I'm amongst the rest of yous. No trades. Think we'll smoke the cows. We need the win. Yeah, that's right too, Shieldsy. Alright, let's have a look here. Where we at? Righto, scores. I'll just run through the scores from last week, guys. Yeah, I don't sort of run through the team list too much. I will have to do that next year now, because most of my viewers are the BJ viewers, so they all watched the show last night, would have seen team lists. So that's where I sort of skip it this on my show, but I'll have to lift me game next year, boys. But yeah, next scores from last week, boys. Righto, I'll start down the bottom here. Not sure what order the games were in, I can't remember, but we've got the Raiders and the Knights first up here. So the Raiders just snuck home, boys, 28-22. Top scorer for the Raiders, Jackie Whiten with an 88. Tapine with a 75. Rapana with a 71. Sebastian Chris 64. And Papali with a 65. Over the other side, we've got Tex Hoy with a 79. Dom Young with a 79. He sort of keeps producing, Big Dom. Gay Guy with a 77. Probably had his best game he's had all year, Gay Guy. Bailey with a 71. And Clem with a 67. Kingy the boys just looking at the chat there. Alright, get out of that one. Next one. We've got the Dragons and the Titans. So yeah, the Dragons got it up by 20. Big scoring game this one. 46 to the Dragons, 26 to the Titans. And yeah, Dragons side, Jackie Bird with a 131. Big score. Moga with 120. Jackie Bird too, just on Jack Bird, guys. It's good to see he's got through most of this season. I don't think he's had a major injury all year. So that'll stand him in good stead for next year, Jack Bird, boys. So I'm not sure what the Dragons are going to do with him, but yeah, at least he's got through a year this year now without an injury, and hopefully, yeah, we see him come back to it. We know he can play. Yeah, hopefully he gets back to his best next year, get some games under his belt. Moga with a 120. Another big score there. Sullivan with a 70. Amon 69. Looked good, Amon. He's looked good the last few weeks now. Amon took him a while to get going at the start. But yeah, he's looked good the last few weeks, Tommy. And Benny Hunt there with a 67. Lomax 67. It's about in on that one too. But just on the scores too from last week, guys. When I had a look, there was or heard on another podcast, there was actually 19 players turned up last week. 19 blokes scored 100 last week. That's just huge. And I think AJ scored 99, so it could have been 20 blokes scored 100 points last week. Even if you had half of them, 10 blokes that scored 100, that's just huge. I think I had 6 or 7 or something, and I thought that was all right. But yeah, 19 blokes scored 100. That's just massive. I'm not sure on records or what the record would be for how many blokes have turned up in a single week, but geez, that's got to be close. 19 blokes. That's insane. So yeah, so that was just a little fact I heard today. Top score, there you go. Kingy's just saying top scorer had 9 blokes turn up. There you go. Well, I had 6 or 7, so I was travelling all right. I thought I was going all right with a 14.97, and then Damien, congratulations to Damien. I don't know if you probably would have watched my show, but yeah, big shout out to you, mate. Well done. Good luck in the grand final, champion. You scored a massive 16.66 or something like that, so I got you once earlier in the year, but you got me where it counts, mate, and well done. I hope you go well in the grand final. I think it's you and Jared in the BJ grand final. In that league, you got me in last week, so yeah, well done, mate. Good shout out. Yeah, well done. Yeah, next game, massive game. Roosters Tigers, 72-6. I think they heard that's the biggest win and margin since the introduction of NRL. I'm pretty sure of the NRL. So look, like used to be Winfield Cup and all that. Since the introduction to the NRL, I think I'm pretty sure that's the biggest score recorded. So massive win of the Roosters there. Obviously, yeah, they got 10 blokes on their own, a ton up here, just about. Crichton 161, Butcher with a 140 and scored 4 tries or something. Walker 110, Teddy with 109, Keary 107, Tupou 105. Just all over the place. And then you get No Love, 72 points, and you get Manu and Suwali, who I played both of them, and they get No Love, 58 and 36. Dreadful. I was even thinking of sitting Suwali this week after that performance, eh? But I think I've got to play him anyway. But yeah, shit house from Suwali. Anyway, moving on. Next one, it's Sharks Manly. Home game for South. Yeah, lazy week. Yeah, so South at Allianz this week, boys. So yeah, next game, Sharks and Manly. So Sharks got them here 40-6, guys. Cherry Evans with an 86. Anyone that got Cherry and hung on the Cherry or couldn't trade him back out, yeah, he's produced a decent score there for you. Olo with a 70, and I fucking didn't play him last week. I sat him out against the Sharks. I didn't think he produced too much and didn't play him, so lost a few points there. And my captain option was bad last week as well. So Dylan Walker with a 52, Cooler with a 50, Alloy A 47 to Power 37, and not much else to talk about down there. Nico with a 130, so he just keeps producing, Nico. Ikavalu with 100. He's produced a couple of big scores, scoring a few tries too, big fella. Royce Hunt with a 97. Moylan with a 75. Niokore 71. Lockie Miller with a 69, looks good. Fafita with a 65. And yeah, obviously McGuinness 55. I had played him last week too. That's about all for that game. Next one, my boys got over the Dogs, 42-6. Obviously Dill Brown with a good game, big 134 there from Dill. Mitchell Moses with a 98, so both halves producing for the Eels there, which we wanted. Papali'i with an 85. Opacek 83, Maddo 79. Then down the track you got Sean Lane with a 55, so I'm hoping for a bit more from him this week. That's about it over that side. The Dogs, Maxi King, top score with a 60. Oh, with Aaron Shop with a 60 as well. Paul Vaughan with a 52. Jackson with a 50. Birdo with a 48. Anyone that's still got Matty Burton, you're probably looking for more than from him now this time of year. That's about it on that side. Next game is a Storm and the Broncos. Not too often Nico down date. No, that's right, Kingy doesn't either. And he just dropped 4 points this week. But yeah, he's usually a unicorn, Nico. He's usually picking up 20 or 30 points from fucking nowhere. And this week he drops 4. But yeah, and Lane, that's right, he's been a bit quiet last couple of weeks. But hopefully, yeah, he produced a bigger score, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then, yeah, he's been a bit quiet since. But yeah, he has been one of the better back rowers over the last sort of 10 or 12 weeks. So hopefully he's a big finish for the end of the year for the Eels. Because we need it. We can't just keep doing this 1 win, 1 loss fucking bullshit. It's no good. And losing the teams that we should be beating. So I was a bit scared of the Dogs game on the weekend because they are our voodoo side, the Dogs. They do sneak up and get us a few times. They've beaten us a couple of times, both games in the year, a few years in a row. Yeah, so it was a bit of a hard, not a hard game, but a hard game to watch for when you're an Eels supporter. Those sort of games are not easy to watch. So I'd rather watch them play the Panthers or the Knights or the Storm every week because you know they're going to produce something. But yeah, in those games you just don't know. So we've got to hope for a big couple of games from the boys because we've got to keep producing now. We need 2 solid games for the run into the semis, and then we'll see how we go because yeah, you got the sides like the Storm, Roosters, South, you know, Panthers once they get Cleary back. All these sides are going to be, they're all flying now. So yeah, all these sides are going to be tough to beat. The grand final is going to be a cracker regardless of who gets there. So yeah, let's see a big 4 or 5 weeks. What is it? 2 weeks of the comp, and then they got to win 3 to get their grand final. So yeah, that's big 4 or 5 weeks from the boys, and we'll get there. So 7 in a row for South over Para. Oh shit, that's not good. Not good at all. I didn't need to hear that stat, Shieldsy, at all, mate. You could have kept that to yourself, bud. No need to mention that at all. Yeah, didn't want to hear that now. You got that in your head. Anyway, the Storm and the Broncos, mate. Storm got them here. Storm's looking good too. 60-12. Harry Grant with a 113. Big Nelson with a 113 as well. Olam 113 as well. Nofo with 102. I think that's his first ton since he's back at the Storm. And yeah, he looks good, Nofo. Yeah, so I heard there could be some signing news. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him stay at the Storm, Nofo. I think he suits their style of play now. I wasn't sure with him being that base sort of winger. You normally see the Storm wingers are sort of them no base but flashy, score 4 or 5 tries a game. But this bloke just punches out the base like it's no tomorrow and then scores tries on the end of that. So he could be a real target for next year if he stays at a good price, Nofo. So. And Money with an 86, Meaney with an 80, Hughes with a 72. So there are a lot of good scores there from the Storm. Spread it around a bit there. Over the other side, you got Walters with a 52 from the Broncos, Capewell with a 50, Oates with a 45, Jensen with a 42, Hetherington with a 41, Ricky 44 there. And yeah, Huss down a bit further, Staggs down a bit further, both on 40. A-Ray with a 39. Cobbo with a 28. And then I've seen he's been dropped this week, which I don't make any sense of that at all. You think you want to push hard for the run home. Being in that top 8 now, the Broncos, yeah, you want your best side out there, you would have thought. But yeah, who knows. Penrith have got the wood over the South. Shields is saying there, eh? Yeah. Yes. Well, next game is, what do we got here? I've got glasses somewhere. Cowboys Warriors. So yeah, Cowboys got them here 48-4. Back to a bit of form, the Cowboys, which they needed. Val Holmes top scored there with 118. Chatty Townsend with 108. Good score from him. Tommy Dearden with a 91. Won't be there this week. Cohen Hess with a 78. Lalia with a 73. And down further you got Cotter with a 56. Hoping for a bit more from him this week as well. And Lolo with a 51. So a bit more from those two boys would be nice. Over the other side, not much happening for the Warriors at all. Fanua Blake with a 61. Aiken with a 50. I think he's out too against Penrith this week. Aiken, so how many the Panthers going to score? Wade Egan with a 47. Tohu Harris with a 46. Bunty Afoa 43. That's about all to even mention down there. Excuse me. And the last game, I think, was the first game anyway. I've gone backwards there, but you know. Yeah, this was a cracker. Panthers and the Rabbitohs. Panthers got up 26-22 there, guys, with cracking games. So Martin, top score for the Panthers on a 91. Could have easily been 130. Yeah, crashed over and yeah, he looked really good. Got that try in the end, but yeah. Appy with a 70. Dylan Edwards with a 67. Isaiah Yeo, 61. Crichton with a 60. And down further, you got May with a 48. Tago with a 39. A few people have still got them blokes. I've still got Tago. I'll play him this week, Tago. Obviously against the Warriors. But I don't think I'll play him next week against the Cowboys. I think I'll sit him next week. So the other side, just got Latrell, 105. He just keeps producing hundreds for fun, Trell. Yeah, just keeps punching them out. I think that's 3 in a row he's produced. He's produced tons 3 weeks in a row. So yeah, just keeps doing it. AJ with a 99. Walker with a 76. Campbell Graham with a 75. Isaiah Tass 74. Down a bit further. Cameron Murray 48. Bit disappointing in that game. So you think with that sort of scoreline and those sort of teams, he would have made a few more tackles. But yeah, it wasn't to be. But yeah, 48 from him. Not what we were looking for. So that's the scores from last week, guys. Alright, I'm just going to go for a quick break. 2 minutes, guys. I'll just check on this kid. And then I'll come back and I'll run through all the leagues and Bundy stuff and that, boys. Alright, I'm back, boys. Alright, so what do we got here? Alright, I'll just run through the Supercoach leagues first. Our leagues and our grand finals and stuff, and then I'll do the Bundy stuff, guys. Righto. So, yeah, like I said, we've got a friendly Fiddlers league, just a friendly. And yeah, so it's me and Blayde. We finished first and second in that league. And yeah, we're in that grand final in that one. So Blayde beat Dave last week to make the grand final, and I beat Blayde the week before to go straight through, because that was only a 10-man league, that one, guys. But yeah, Blayde's got a grudge match league, guys. I'll run through that league for him, which is, yeah, it's a stronger league. So yeah, I've made the grand final in that one as well, guys, and I'm playing Samuel, the Gravy Barons. So yeah, Samuel, if you're out there, mate, yeah, I got you this week, mate. It'll be a good game. So yeah, Sam beat Andrew, Melton Madness last week with a 15.02. So very close. I got a 14.97. So it's going to be a cracker with me and Samuel this week. Yeah, and I got over Mitchell with Edda Baglandies, and he's been one of the better sides in that league too. Edda Baglandies with Mitchell's team. And yeah, I only got him by 10 points. So yeah, well done, Mitchell. He's been a good player all year in that league as well. So there are two leagues, grand finals. I've made both. Blayde got knocked out in his grub match one a few weeks ago. So yeah, and just in our Kings of Supercoach league, guys, we'll just run through that one. So we've got Brock. He's on top with the Purple Cobras. And overall, he's sitting 189th. So well done, mate. Big Trev Schooners. Isaac's coming second in that one. Cleary a Stag. Ashley's coming third in that one. I'm coming fourth now in the Kings of Supercoach one. What's doing? Alex is coming fifth. And where's the boys there now? Let me have a look. Yeah, Marty's down there. He's 10th now. Marty. Where's Big Ted? Big Ted's there. He's 15th now. Big Ted in the Kings of Supercoach group there. And in the Queens of Supercoach, we'll have a look at that one. Have a look at the girls here. So yeah, on the beat Pete with Peter. She's still on top there, and she's 89th overall. So yeah, flying. Leanne Fire and Ice. She's second in that one. All we do is win. Talia is third. Sugar Gum Storm Alicia is fourth, and we got Katie is fifth in the Queens of Supercoach. So they're the leagues and the groups, guys, for the Supercoach. And now I'll just run through all the Bundy stuff, guys, which I've got written down because it's on the laptop and I can't get it while I'm doing this. So, but yeah, we've got where are we? So the Bundy scores and leagues, righto. So I scored a 401 in the Bundy comp this week, and Blayde got a 377. They are mine and Blayde scores this week in the Bundy mixer. So yeah, like as I said before, guys, the Bundy mixer code is at the top of the screen there. So if you're not in there, jump in, because I did have the wrong code up there the other week. So that's the right code that's up there now, guys. So jump in that one. Yeah, so the league, we'll run through our league. I just got a league. It's called the SC Boys, because most of the boys on there are from the Supercoach, obviously. And yeah, so you jump in that code there, boys, in that league. And I think we've got 8 or 10 blokes in there now. What have we got? 9 blokes in there. Yeah, so it's going alright. But yeah, so on top in that league, number 1 is the Backs, and they scored a 504 this week. So good score. And yeah, I'm not sure who that bloke is, the Backs. But yeah, Shields, he was on top for a while, and then I posted the code on Facebook to a few groups, and I got a few other people join, and this Backs fella, he was one of them, and he outscored Shieldsy. So Shields is second though in that one with a 481 there. Well done, mate. Then Adrianosaurus, he's third in that one with a 460. Then Green Machine, not sure who that one is. They're on 415. And then me, I'm fifth in that one with a 401, obviously. Tigers for Life is sixth there with a 399. And then Blayde is seventh. So Blayde's the Schusters is Blayde's side. With a 377. And then Pimp My Side is eighth. With a 344. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who Tigers for Life is either. I'm not sure who they are. And then Gumby. Not sure who that is either, but they scored a 58, so something went amiss there with their side, I'd say. But so yeah, that's our Bundy mixer, guys. Just a bit of fun. I think there is weekly prizes for the top scorers and things like that. Just a bit of fun, guys. I thought we'd jump in. Boys have got me on this fucking NFL fucking bullshit thing. I know nothing about it. I'm trading wrong blokes in, and when I looked at my thing there, I finished one of the drafts, and my side's like the worst side in the comp. If I win one game, I'll be very surprised, boys. If you don't pump me every week, I'll be very, very surprised. So, not my go, that, at all. But anyway, moving on. I've only got a couple of things to go, boys, and we're wrapped it up anyway. So, my mixers team this week, guys. So, obviously, with the my mixer, you get no trades. You got no salary cap or anything like that. You just bring in 6 new players every week, 3 men, 3 women, and you get captain one male player and 1 female player. So I did post a scoring up on one of the on our Facebook page, on the Triple SC podcast Facebook page, the way the scoring works for Bundy. So yeah, it is up there somewhere, guys. If you want to check the scoring out, the way it's scored. It is a bit different, being a fantasy game to what Supercoach is. So my mixer team this week, guys, I've got Appy. Obviously with the draw, I picked him at dummy half. I got Samaima Taufa from the Eels. She looked really good last week, and she's just a beast. So I picked her in there. I got David Fafita, obviously with the draw. The big fella, I brought him in my Supercoach side, so I wanted to bring him in my draft side as well, in my Bundy mixer side as well. I've got Nico there, and I've captained Nico. I've got Isabel Kelly, and I've captained her. And I've got Emma Tangado at fullback. So they're my 6 Bundy side, mixer side. So that's the winning Bundy mixer side this week, boys. So I'm looking to go past all you blokes this week and outscore you probably by 100. Because that's how extremely confident I am now. I've seen how the scoring works and who's playing well and what's going on. I think I've got you all covered now. So expect a massive finish for the Bundy mixer next 6 weeks, boys. Shieldsy, no chance, he reckons. I've got him covered, I reckon. He's the backs, mate. I'm not sure where they snuck in from, the back side. Some latecomers snuck in and pinched Shields's first spot. I looked at the end of the week and Shields's was on top. And I looked the following day and we had 3 or 4 new blokes jump in the comp and in the league and knock him off. So you're a bit dirty about that. He posted in the chat, who the fuck's this backs bloke? But we'll track him down, Shieldsy, and we'll kneecap him and we'll sort him out for you, mate. Unless it's someone we know. If it's one of the BJ boys, we'll leave him alone. But yeah, if it's one of these imposter blokes, we'll sort him out, mate. And if he gets 2 in front, mate, I'll just bar him from the league. I'll just delete him. Gone. And let Shieldsy take up the reins there. But you won't be anyway, mate, for long because I'm coming at you. So I've got you. So anyone else that wants to get amongst it, there's only 9 of us, boys. I'd expect at least 14 of us in that Bundy mixer. Get in there. I don't care if you don't want to play. Join me thing. Me bloody league. I join your NFL bullshit. Get on me bloody Bundy mixer, boys. And join it. Get amongst it. Alright? Alright, that's about me for the night, boys. We've got one show next week. Who knows if we get Blayde or not. You never know with this bloke. In saying that, the bloke does bust his ass. He's up at 4 in the morning to get to Sydney to work by 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then he's not finishing till 6 o'clock and getting home at sort of bloody 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So he's looking after his family and doing what he's got to do. So full credit to Blayde there. I'm proud of him for doing that, looking after his family. He's in a bit of strife with his home at the moment. Blayde, he's got to find somewhere to live. He's at his girlfriend's at Nan's place at the moment, just with his girlfriend and his mum, and they've been great there, letting him stay there. But yeah, it's coming that time. He's got to find his own little shack, Blayde. So he's busting his ass and doing the best he can. So, and his partner works as well. Courtney works as well. She works at the races and stuff when they got race meetings out at Kembla Grange there. And yeah, so they're both doing well there. And if they need me, I always watch the little one. If they're both working or whatever, the little one comes up here with me, or Courtney's mum watches her, or whatever's going at the time. So yeah, full credit to Blayde. I understand why he can't get here. We put a bit of shit on him sometimes, which probably is undeserved at times. But yeah, there's been a few times, boys, where he's knocked off work early and just gone to the pub and rang me and gone, mate, I can't make the show. I'm fucking staggering. So yeah, I can't say they're proud moments when he's rang me at them times. But when he rings me at 6 o'clock or 5:45 or something, said, mate, I'm fucking stuck at work. I'm still on my way home. I can let him slide a bit. So, but hopefully we get him back. Blayde is kingy. That's what I said at the first couple of shows. After he missed a couple, I said, this bloke, he's just watched these boys and he's gone, that's how we do it. They've set a bad example, Shilsey, for him, haven't he? Kingy, especially Kingy, hey? Yeah. Brene, he's understandable. He's got the new little one. He's had to miss a couple of weeks and he's still there. He's still fighting on. Kingy's he's pulled the pin, the big fella. He's had enough. So, but yeah, like he said, there's a lot of podcasts out there now, guys. There is a lot, which is why I want to change some lighting, and I'll get a fog machine happening and stuff next year, and we'll do a few things different. I'll dress up like a dickhead a few times, and we'll have red carpet events, and fucking I'll get as many people on the show as I can. We'll get as many opinions. Whether I agree with that person's opinion or not don't matter, because everyone I want to get as many opinions on the show as I can. From different people, because if we all thought the same, it'd be a fucking boring old shit world, wouldn't it, eh? So, yeah, for everyone that's tuned in, we've got one show left next week, guys. It's been our first year. We'll update some software and stuff next year, get things happening a little bit better. I'll try and improve my my producing skills over the off season. But yeah, so look for the name change, guys. So it'll be the Supercoach Asylum next year. Yeah, and we'll get a few other things happening and going on. So we'll get you as many of you on the show as we can. And yeah, much appreciated for tuning in and supporting us this year, guys. Been our first year. Yeah, the support's been awesome from all you blokes. Yeah, can't thank you enough. Hope you stick with us, because yeah, I got a few things in the mind, and my kids as they get older, I'll be doing more of this sort of shit. And yeah, there'll be all sorts of weird shit I do too. I've got a few relatives that are not famous, but reserve their little place in history in the local Wollongong sort of area. Just for an example, I won't give you the full story, but I got a 5 times great grandfather that was the first Wollongong lighthouse pilot at the old Breakwater Lighthouse. Before the lighthouse was even there, he was the lighthouse pilot there, and he used to carry an old lantern. Put an old lantern out on the pier there on a pole, and that was sort of the light for the ships. So it was back in the 1800s. He got his pilot license. I've got a copy of his pilot license. There's a few books about him. His name's actually William Edwards. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a little show about him at some stage next year. I'll just post it up on the channel and just give you a little rundown of him and what happened, because he actually died on the job trying to rescue some people. So I won't go into too much because it's a long story. There's a few different versions of it, which is cool as well. It's a bit of a spin-off. So yeah, look forward to that next year as well. Do a few little things like that. I don't know if any of you sort of know, but I go through the scrub and chase a few yowies back in the day when I was a kid, and camping out and doing some crazy shit. So I'm going to be looking to do that sort of stuff with my kids. I don't know if I'm going to start a new channel, guys. I think I'm just going to probably just post it all on the asylum channel, because my kids are in asylum in here. I just went in there to change that kid then, and she decided that she'd done a poo and take a nappy off and scream it down the leg there. And so this is an asylum here, guys. Don't worry about that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, but you probably didn't need to hear the shit story. But anyway, I'm talking shit because Blayde's not here. So good evening, people. Have a good night. Catch us next week.